The signal.
Okay, we're live. Perfect. So, hi everybody. We're doing a live demo in our brand room, and we've got some guests who are checking it out to see if this is actually a good fit for them and their show and achieving their goals. So, I'm going to have Rob, the producer, Rob Hicks, hop on screen with me and say hi to you guys today. Rob?
There we go. It's coming. There we go. Hey!
And so typically when we do something like this, we have a show outline where the producer knows exactly what's coming when, so there's no delay. So he knows that, you know, the minute I'm on, I'm going to do a quick intro, and then I'm going to invite my first guest on or show a certain graphic. So he has it ready and it's ready to go. So
basically a run sheet.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Basically a run sheet.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
So
we're winging this ourselves.
So it looks great.
Yeah.
I mean, it looks really good. I love it.
Yeah.
So you guys see it live on the Facebook page?
Yeah, that's on the same screen also.
Yeah. So that everybody knows that's watching on Facebook, we're going to kind of start doing live demo Fridays. We haven't announced this one because we wanted to kind of figure it out ourselves on today's show, but we're going to start
phenomenal.
Thank you. So every Friday at 1 p.m. thanks to Jenny Q, we're going to start doing a live demo. And for those of you that kind of want to see a behind the scenes experience, we'll bring you in, like Fred, Allison, and Trevor today. Some may be on camera, some may not be on camera, but the benefit of this recording and this demonstration is that it gives people the opportunity to see both sides of the broadcast, the behind the scenes for those that participate in the video call, but also you, the viewer on Facebook, to be able to ask questions if there's something that you like or you want to schedule to participate in the next week's demo. Jenny Q, like always, is your gal.
Like always, I'm your gal. So here's the thing: if you are interested in doing this next week, go to our Facebook page and click the Contact Us button and fill out that form, and then I will reach out to you and send you the registration to register for the live demo. But that will be the quickest and easiest way to get in touch with us. So we have some guests. You guys, who wants to hop on screen with me? Anybody?
I'm on screen. I'll pop right on.
You want to come live with me, Trevor? Come on, bring it.
Trevor's ready to bring game. Here we go.
Come on, bring it, Trevor. Let's see you. Let's see your handsome face on here.
Well, now that they've allowed me to kind of get a little bit of screen time, what I really love about what you guys are doing is that it reminds us that sometimes in this entrepreneurial rat race, I think that too many times that we decide that everything that needs to get done in our business, we have to do ourselves. And I think that we got to always remember that when we have problems in our business, we have challenges in our business, that we got to remember the golden rule. And I don't mean do unto others. I mean the other golden rule, which is the answer to who doesn't always have to be you. And so the guys over at Enlightened Audiovisual really do a lot of the heavy lifting that allows you to do what you do best. Be a content expert, be a professional, share your knowledge, get your voice out there into the world, and really do the three things that you want to do as an expert. You want to be powerful, you want to be purposeful, and you want to be profitable. The key thing that you don't want to do is you don't want to be bogged down with labor, bogged down with trying to become a new age technological guru. You just want to be able to share your message in an easy, simple format. And the guys over at Enlightened Audiovisual, they're one of the best at it. They do a great job at it. I'm so happy to be here today on the demo, just learning what they do. And you know what's really cool is that I'm looking at you now inside of the demo room, and the broadcast is even clearer than the actual than what I'm seeing on the broadcast room. And so I can see the work that you guys are doing to really improve the quality of the video that is showing up on the other side and the lower third. Just a true professional outfit. Love the work you guys are doing. I'm a fan.
So Trevor, you know what?
Trevor Ox is a fan.
That is awesome. And what's so cool, we literally just met like moments ago. You hopped in. I didn't know you were going to be here. I'm like, this is cool. But I love what you said, because what we are passionate about, the team at Enlightened Audiovisual, is helping people get their message out. Like, that excites us. We're like, we want to make you shine. We want to, you know, you're playing a Super Bowl and you're the star quarterback, but you need a team. So we're the team. And like, this is what we talk about in our meetings, right? Another example, I have a musical theater background, a very small one, not an impressive one. But you know, when you're up there on stage singing and there's a live orchestra, the orchestra follows you. So you're the leader, right? They have to follow you. And so that's what we do. We provide all of the stuff that's tech. Most people who are in business aren't in the tech. You know, they want to share their message. They want to do their thing. And now live video is where it's at. And you don't have to learn all the tech stuff because we're here. We got you.
Yep. Loving it. And also I noticed that with the team, that it's not just one person, that you have multiple people focusing on different areas to make sure that you have a really professional production. And one of the things I was just saying, that in looking at Facebook Live these days, there's so many people doing video, but it's a bit hard to watch when you don't see some of the professional accoutrements that you're normally used to when watching television. And I love the fact that you are bringing back professionalism and production quality into a scenario where, you know, people just popping on with their cell phones. Because, you know, these days our laptops are our television screens, and our television screens are now our computer screens.
And our iPhones.
Yeah, don't forget the iPhone. Did you break down to get the iPhone 7 yet? I couldn't give it to Jack. I said, I don't know about it.
So
for the camera.
Yeah, I definitely will be getting it, if nothing else, because of the 2 cameras. I'm like in love with the idea of the telephoto lens.
For the same reason. What about you, Allison? Are you going to do it?
I don't know. I'm sure you'll tell me to, and then I will.
You're not going to break it down and get it? I mean, wow.
I'll probably underutilize the technology. I use my phone for text and for talking. I'm pretty simple as far as that's concerned. So do we want to look at some of the other assets that you guys can put up and provide and kind of see some of the bells and whistles that go here, or what's next?
Sure. So one of the things that we've been demonstrating throughout this has been the ability to, you know, composite multiple people in. And I think the business proposition that we offer for businesses and brands are that not everybody's going to be interested in figuring out how to do video production. You know, if you're a clothing manufacturer or a life coach or a soccer coach, a football player, whatever, that's your swim lane. And for us, our passion is video production. And we've been doing video production in the video conference and collaboration space for over 15 years. So while live streaming is a new component for everybody, it's been in our wheelhouse technologically for a long time. I think the one thing that we've done a little bit differently than many people is the live streamers that have existed for the last 5 to 10 years have done it, in my opinion, as a hobbyist perspective. And, you know, they like the idea of doing everything themselves. And while there's always going to be a market for DIY people, there's equally, in our opinion, going to be a model where people just want to show up and do their thing, just like we want to do our thing. So, you know, if you're a business and you want to focus on your message rather than, okay, I want to learn how to do this myself. And doing it myself means that I'm going to figure out a show itinerary. I'm going to figure out all the technology. I'm going to run the board myself during the show, and I'm going to focus on my guests, and I'm going to focus on the chat, and I'm going to focus on the SEO. And then I'm also going to worry about trying to go out and get sales. That's just, I'm not suggesting that it can't be done, because there are those that don't, but from a medium, or from a small business, medium, and certainly a large business perspective, that's not the way businesses operate. They do swim lanes. And, you know, Jenny Q knows that I'm a huge proponent of that concept, in the sense that life is much, much more fun and enjoyable when you figure out what your passion is, and you constantly improve on that. And for those things that you don't either have a passion for or simply don't want to do, like I said, payroll or accounting or social media, farm those out to others and develop relationships where, you know, everybody's sharpening each other's sword. And like I said, it becomes so much more collaborative and fun to do that. So that's my diatribe.
So no, that's great, Rob. Do you have available to show like how you can pull video in, how you can pull graphics up?
Sure. So I didn't do a lot of graphics for this demo, but what I can do, and I hope Kim is okay with this, I'm going to play a few bits of her intro, just so you guys can kind of see it. Now, for you in the green room, you're not going to be able to hear it, but the Facebook audience will see it.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. So I'll play a few minutes of that. I want to give a shout out to Allison, who's watching in the chat. So let's roll the quick video demo. Somebody's listening to it on their iPhone.
Yeah, that was me.
So I can give proper credit. So that was Kim Garst's intro video, and we produce her show every Wednesday at 2 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Right, and so when the host provides us with the media assets and tells us when to show them or play them or introduce them, then that's just what we do. So it could be video, it could be graphics, it could be sometimes I'll pull in a Snapchat story that I just wanted to show, whatever. It can be anything.
Quick question. Let's just say we're having a conversation back and forth, and is there a way for sort of like that green room group of people to communicate with each other without it necessarily showing up on the Facebook Live, sort of, hey, run the BRoll, or run the commercial now?
Oh, actually, I didn't think about this because you hopped in late, Trevor. So, are you looking at all of us now, or whoever is speaking?
I see I see you speaking in the middle part, and then I see up top the row of people sort of like in the green room.
Okay, so on your device, click the gallery view.
You mean on my PC? I see gallery view. Got it. I see the gallery view. Okay.
So the benefit of the gallery view is that you, as a host, are able to see all of your guests, and you're able to see me as your producer and Sam as your co-producer. So when we're running a show, so for example, I'll go to you full screen. Do me a favor and angle your camera up just a little bit. Now, there we go.
Can you turn around, Trevor, so that window is not behind you, or can you block that light because it's really glaring?
How's that? Oh yeah. Hold on one second. I just closed the window. Hold on one second.
There you go. All right, so Jen, I'll go back full screen to you.
Okay, thanks for the warning because I'm over here looking at the chat. So Fred, you want to hop on? You want to hop on?
Sure.
Okay,
all right.
Let's bring and
ta-da! There we go.
Fred, there you are. Fred's calling in from Orlando.
Yeah.
You were saying that from the gallery view perspective, is whatever the green box on is the main view, correct?
The green box.
There we go. Switch to my real camera.
Oh, okay. So let me switch over to Trevor real quick. There we go.
I had to switch to the C920.
There you go. Much better, much clearer. I mean, and if we start doing shows for you, having the sunlight behind you, kind of washes it out. But that's just a technical issue that we work with you on before your first show to make sure that you're looking good and sounding good on camera.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
I like
so
that.
So Fred, are you looking at it on Facebook right now?
Am I looking at it on what? I'm sorry?
Are you looking at it on Facebook right now?
Yeah, I've got it. I can see it on the phone as well, and I can see what is it Trevelyan?
Yeah, Trevor.
Yeah, what he was saying as far as it's definitely it's clearer on the phone than it is here, which obviously the bandwidth and what it remains here versus what it needs to on Facebook Live, but very clear. I've seen several several shows that you guys have actually worked on, so it's very impressive. It's
right.
somewhat of a game changer in your ability to create and leverage Facebook Live to a sales level, as opposed to just simply an alternative short form webinar or something like that. The graphics are huge from a standpoint of not having to repeat yourself over and over again. You know, you fly in something lower third. The commercials are an interesting aspect. You know, if you want to run it as a show, I could certainly see where that's very beneficial. But since I've seen the work lately, I've been looking for different ways to leverage what you're doing. It's impressive. And like I said earlier, I'm more of an outsourcing guy. I know what I can do and know what I can't do. I also know what I can do, but I shouldn't bother doing. And this is certainly one of them. As much as I want to build and will partially build one of Jeff's, what does he call them? Brand room? I think you call them, Jeff, a brand room or something like that. I'm certainly going forward with that, but the logistics of it, you still need somebody. And so I'm curious to some services you have as well on top of that.
Very cool.
Yeah. Also, do you guys provide the, I saw Rob was using one of the virtual sets. Do you guys provide the virtual sets as well? Or does it require a separate license?
Virtual set.
He's talking about the green screen stuff.
Oh, okay. So I can, if you feed me from your live video a green background, then I can actually chroma key you from my production box. So I can make you appear like you're anywhere in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I love your virtual set.
Thank you. Oh, I love it too. I want to be there. I don't even know where it is, but
yeah.
So
you know what's so funny is I was looking at it and I saw you on the green screen, but I didn't even realize. And I was thinking, how is he not getting a glare off of his window? My brain didn't even associate the two, which is crazy. Trevor, can you read your chat?
Yes. Let me go look at my chats now. Yes.
Allison, read your chat too. I sent you a message.
I responded. Oh, no, I didn't. No, I don't.
Okay.
So Allison, you had asked earlier, like about 10 minutes ago, if I could show you some of the assets. And so hopefully you noticed that I had taken your question and I've been dropping in the different lower thirds. So this is a Twitter component. I haven't found that I use it that often in shows, but from a capabilities perspective, you know, it gives you an example of what's possible. I know that there was somebody that Jen and I met with earlier this week where Twitter was a huge component of what they do because they base their show off of hashtags. So that was something that, you know, we scrambled to put together. And since this is a live demo, I figured, you know, this would be a good opportunity to kind of show everybody what can be done. How you use it is totally up to you.
Mm-hmm. So you can go, I saw that over on Sam's side, he was showing the Facebook thread. So we can show both the Facebook thread and the Twitter thread if we want to.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, so there's a specific reason for why Sam does that. So think of what we're providing you when you're seeing the gallery view as kind of like a live digital dashboard. So it's one thing when you're the host of your show and you're doing a broadcast, but then you look away to read people's comments and stuff like that. What we're trying to do is to be able to make it so that you can maintain perceived eye contact even when reading the chat. So if you've got your screen on gallery mode, then you're able to see me and Sam as your producers. Or Sam can, if Sam doesn't need to be on camera, he'll flip his screen to show the Facebook comments so that you don't have to look away on your secondary device to read comments. Everything is right there in front of you. You see me live, you know, with my whiteboard, and so I'll be like, okay, so, you know, read a few comments, you know, or I'm looking at your itinerary and I see that on your itinerary you've listed a commercial to go in at the 15-minute mark. So I'm looking at the timer and then I'm kind of reminding you, hey, you know, 45 seconds to commercial break.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
So I think the proposition is that for sure we provide technology as a tool, but one of the things that I'm observing more than anything is that a huge asset and value to what we provide is the human factor that we're providing, because we are being your producer during your show. So we're kind of babysitting the quality of the show, the orchestration of it. So, you know, if like for Jenny Q, she's got 4 to 5 guests on per week on her Jenny Q show. So Sam and I are kind of corralling them, and based on the itinerary that Jenny gives us, we know who to put on camera at the right time. And then we also subsequently, when she has her guest on and she wants to show a video about that participant, or, you know, one of the things that Jen does a lot of is she shows pictures of her and the guest at certain social media events. Right. So we're just basically, to what Jen said earlier, is kind of, you're the conductor and we're just playing our various instruments.
Got it.
Quick question, if I might. You know, I heard you mention the SEO side and the traffic side. You know, although I know that's always like a loaded question, but how do you guys help on the SEO side, if I might ask?
So Jen, you want to cue that one up?
Sure.
Hey Shay, I'm on the thing with Enlightened Audiovisual.
Yeah, I'm on TV.
So you can see it. I'm on there with Allison, but it's Enlightened Audiovisual. Guess what? They're local. They're right down in Gaithersburg. It's dope though. They're the one that produced the show that April was on the other day. So just check it out. I'll see you on the other side. Yeah, I sent you a thing on Facebook. I'll see you there. Deuces.
Thanks, Allison.
How much you love live video? Because we captured that live. That's awesome. Okay, so is it Trevor? Do you like? I feel like Allison's.
Love Trevor.
Trevor. Okay. So I thought that's what I heard Allison call you. So Trevor, so what we do, of course, there's promotion, pre-production. That's an add-on to our packages, or you can do that yourself. But post-production, we go in and we optimize the description based on the content of the show, so that it reaches a bigger audience. It has a bigger reach. And then on the back end of the video, when you shoot a live video or broadcast a live video to Facebook Live, you can tag it and you can put categories and you can choose the best thumbnail and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know,
and then my other question is, so do you guys broadcast to our Facebook fan page as well as onto our personal page? Do you go onto YouTube at the same time? Are you simulcasting to multiple streams?
So that's a great question, and it depends. The answer is it depends. What we have found is that when you're streaming to Facebook, it is best to stream to a public page, right? A fan page. And then once you go live, share it to your personal page, share it to your group, share it to your event. That way that when you're getting chat comments, you're getting them all in one place. There are third-party apps that will send them to all the places that you want to go. But we've run into a couple technical glitches with that. But then there's also multiple comment streams that
hard to follow.
Pardon me?
Yeah, that'll get kind of hard to follow.
Hard to follow, right.
Yeah.
So to address, Allison, your question about simulcasting, we actually can stream at the same time from, to Facebook Live, YouTube Live. When LinkedIn comes up, we'll be able to do that. And also to your website. So your show can be live on your website, which is your, the money, right? Because you want people on your website. So there's lots of different options with that.
Okay.
Okay. Now, just to make sure I understand workflow, so all we would have to do, because I'm trying to understand it from the perspective of the client, all we have to do is I log on to Zoom, the person I want to do the show with, they log on to Zoom. We start engaging whatever conversation we want to engage in. On your side, you broadcast our conversation out to Facebook for
100% correct. There's a caveat to that though, and it's involved in the prep. So the show host does have prep work that's imperative that it has to be done, and it has to be done 72 hours prior to the show. The reason for that is it gives Rob and Sam and Jeff time to build the set, to make the lower thirds, to have it all in order so that it is a seamless production.
Yeah.
But as far as when it's showtime, depending on the package, the production package that you have, you either have 15 minutes or 30 minutes of virtual green room, like what you're seeing here, where the producer is doing the AV check for your guests. And that's huge. When I had hosted my show on Blab, it was all me. So I would hop on. I would hope that we'd work with the guests with the AV. I don't know about AV. I don't know how to tell them to adjust their mic or to adjust their camera. I had to kind of fake it, and so you have someone who knows all this stuff and can make the quick adjustments so that everybody looks good. Another thing that the producer does is frames the shot so that like right now, if we were doing a show, he would make sure that when Fred and I are side by side, that our heads are about the same size,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. But basically, in the green room, as the host, you come in, you get to hang out with your friends while Rob does all the work, or whoever's the producer. It's kind of fun. I kind of like that part.
Question. My only concern, and this probably is a unnecessary concern, from a sound perspective, I've been on some terrible hangouts where somebody starts having a conversation in the back room. They didn't realize that their mic wasn't muted, and that was bleeding onto the main broadcast. On your side, since you're handling the switching and the production side, are you able to mute those people out?
Yes, and we do that as a matter of practice. Rob, go.
Yeah. So that's a huge point. So, and that's kind of one of the benefits of letting other people focus on their swim lane. So if Sam and I are your live producers during your show, we're monitoring and the microphone. So if somebody's dog starts barking in the background, Sam will instantly shut down that mic so that it doesn't bleed into the conversation. And we see that all the time, particularly on evening shows when people are generally at home broadcasting and they've got kids in the background and pizza guys showing up and everything else. So you brought up a great point about, one of the services that's already built into the shows is us being able to monitor the microphone of others.
Right. Okay. Good. Yep. Those are definitely some of my concerns.
Yep.
Relative to some of the other platforms, I know there's Facebook. Definitely YouTube live stream, any place that you basically can receive an RTMP feed. Something,
I didn't hear that last part, but
I'm assuming that you can broadcast to any place that can receive some type of live streaming type of feed.
Yeah.
Any luck yet with anything with Periscope yet?
Yeah, that is a common question that we get, and unfortunately, until Twitter comes up with a desktop application, and I would imagine that that's got to be imminent because Facebook just introduced its own version of desktop broadcasting, and I think that that's going to be important because one of the things that I think we learned in the days of Blab is when it comes to conversations, people want to be able to sit down. In other words, if you're going to be on camera for an extended period of time, then you may want to do the broadcast from your desktop because then you're sitting in a comfortable chair, you're not having to hold something up. So with respect to the streams themselves, yes, we can stream to your Facebook page. We can stream to your personal and your public. We really don't recommend doing it from your personal because in order for us to do it, you've got to basically give us the social security number to your personal Facebook page, and we're not really comfortable doing that.
Gotcha.
But technically, it's possible. So,
Understood.
Yeah. So we definitely recommend that when you broadcast, you do it to a public figure page. We can equally broadcast to YouTube, like Jen said, and we can equally broadcast to your website.
So video feed comes to you from Zoom, and then you guys shoot it out to wherever it needs to go to.
Correct.
Gotcha.
But Rob, I have to kind of brag about you a little bit. Rob does some pretty cool stuff. This isn't even what you asked, Trevor, but it's another option that exists. Mm-hmm. He has taken live streams from Periscope and he created a template where then he's adding things to it in a background. So you've got the stream for Periscope, and then a background. Rob, you could probably describe it better than me, but like a map, say, of where the person's streaming from or whatever, and then pushes that out to Facebook Live. He did that for Jeff Goldberg. I don't know if you know him. He's a big New York City Periscoper. Yeah. And it was just amazing work. And I was like totally like, whoa, Rob, that was amazing. So
right.
Go Rob.
Yeah.
Well, so let me explain to you what
president.
I'll vote for Rob.
I know. Yes, let's do it. So I can speak to his work ethic and his values. So I think we've got a winner there.
Well, so Trevor, I guess, do you do a lot of Periscope right now, or even Fred or Allison?
We do quite a bit of both. Yeah.
Okay.
Probably more Facebook Lives than anything, but yeah, quite a bit.
I'm gonna Snapchat this moment, guys, just so you guys are aware.
Okay, thank you for that warning. That's always
Fred,
good to know.
Fred, what about you? Do you do Periscope?
I do not. I've done some select events where I've done it, just to play with it, but it hasn't been anything that I you have to decide of anything, where do you want to build up your traction, and where are you going to be happy playing there?
Right.
So Periscope was, I think, about the time that I was probably going to seriously go with Periscope. I'd already heard the rumors of the Facebook Live, coming online, so I thought, you know what, I'll just hang out.
Right. Well, and it's
Rob,
kind of a different.
We have a quick question from Glenn Garnes here. Can you broadcast to Facebook groups?
Yes. Oh yeah. Groups and pages. Yes. And I'm sorry, groups, pages, and events.
Yes, and events. Yeah.
Yeah. So to finish Trevor's thought with. And I apologize.
Just real quick, just so you guys know, I'm also going to broadcast to Insta Stories.
Okay, perfect. And then Allison, I want you to tell me your Snapchat and Instagram handles too. Okay,
I will.
I apologize for the clock going off in the background. Yeah, that was pretty rude of me. To finish Trevor's thought on Periscope is one of the things that we can do if you are leveraging Periscope is we can take, so there's two ways we can do it. We could take past Periscopes that you've done and supplement them with maps, pictures, because, so imagine, Periscope is usually a portrait opportunity, right? So imagine that we take your Periscope and we place it on the side of the TV screen. Then I've got all this extra real estate right here.
Yeah.
So what we do with that extra real estate is we put in pictures and comments, websites, so we kind of just supplement the story. So for the Jeff Goldberg example that I did for him this summer is he was live at Governor's Island periscoping a video footage of, I forgot what it's called, Dance is Art. So he was periscoping the photo shoot of the photographer taking pictures of the models dancing. So what I did is I supplemented his Periscope with the finished products of the photographer, and then I was able to show people the website, what the end result looked like, and so it finished the story. So that, now when I did that for Jeff, it was post-production, so he had already done it earlier in the day, and then I did it. But what I can do, again, it has to do with coordination, is if I know what you're going to be periscoping about, and you've written the story, then I can take your live Periscope, bring it into Facebook, and then use all that extra real estate on the screen to supplement the story.
Gotcha. And so that brings in the next question is, there are some things that you guys can do in post-edit as well.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course.
Post-production. Okay.
Yep.
Got it. Love it.
Yes.
So I don't know if did I answer Glenn's question?
Yes, you did. You actually did. Thank you.
Okay. The only thing that I will say is Allison brought up a point about, can we dual stream on Facebook live pages, and technically we can. We've done it to, I think 3 is the maximum we've ever technically done it to. I can tell you that you want to be able to separate what's technically possible from what's viable. The gotcha that you have in dual streaming to 2 separate pages on Facebook is you now have 2 separate chats to monitor.
Yeah.
And you may or may not want that. So, for Jen, when she does her show, we stream it to her Jenny Q Facebook page, and then what she does is we usually start the shows with about a 2-minute countdown. So nobody's on camera the first 2 minutes, but what we do is when we go live and that countdown is going, that's when Jenny and all of the people that are in her green room are sharing out to their personal pages and Twitter.
May I see an example of that countdown if you guys have that handy?
Sure. Let me add it.
Jen, I'm just such a fan. I gotta see what you're doing over there.
Flattery will get you probably farther than it should.
All right, so give me a second to build this.
Things I like the most is you don't have to worry about the audio, the echo.
There you go. So right below Fred, we've got a 5-minute countdown.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Fred's trying to erase it.
Knowing that, we're getting ready to go live. I like that. Okay.
Right, and sometimes we do it over a show card.
Mm-hmm.
Almost
sometimes
always.
we do it. Yeah, with music playing.
I saw. When you say show card, what do you mean?
You want to pull up my show card from last week?
Sure. You mean from earlier this week?
Oh, it is this week still. It feels like it was last week.
Yeah, there's that.
Okay, gotcha.
This is Face Your Talent show card right here, and it has a 2-minute countdown in it. So that's basically what that show card right there is.
Right.
For that show.
Mm-hmm.
With the timer in the bottom.
That was the voice. That was the voice of Sam Gonzo.
That was the voice of Sam. That never comes on camera.
All right. So there's an example of, I think this was 2 weeks ago, actually. 2 or 3 weeks ago.
2 or 3, yeah.
Yeah.
And it fills up the whole screen.
The show card is provided by us.
Yes.
And does it need to be any particular size, or you just resize it yourself?
So there are Facebook standards. You sent those out to Michelle earlier this week.
Yeah. I sent them to someone. I can provide those.
Yeah, gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So one of the benefits, if I just might recap for just a second, number one is we don't have to worry about the echo with people hearing their own voice because of using Zoom in combination with your technology eliminates that problem. Number two is all of the switching is taken care of on your side, and also you get it pushed to the various location. Number three, we get the lower thirds. We provide the show card, and we get some virtual green room time, depending on your package, either a 50-minute or like a 30-minute kind of green room time. Essentially also you work with us on the back end to basically develop a run sheet so that everybody knows what's happening. Yep, I love it.
Sounds right to me. How about you, Rob? Good recap.
Yeah, that was a perfect recap.
Yeah.
Can we take that and transcribe it to Dave?
Let's do. Oh, now we have a document to send to people as we onboard.
That's right.
Nope,
All right.
Love it.
So, Trevor, do you have any questions?
Other than I think Alice made the right choice. We'll be using it too. I'm like, so I don't have to do the production anymore. Hallelujah.
Nice. Awesome.
And essentially we can people can lock in where they say, hey, we're doing every Monday at, let's say, 3:30, and that'll be fine. Okay, mm-hmm. Got it. Let me ask you a question from a technology perspective. How many people are really kind of required to, in other words, how many people should I expect to be on the servicing side when we're doing an event? So do I need one kind of producer, or is there one sound producer, one video producer, one person running lower thirds? So, from an expectations point of view.
So from an expectation standpoint, contractually it's one, but almost I can't think of, other than the times where Sam or Jeff are not available. It's almost always that we have two.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. I love it. I love it. Love it. Love it.
Awesome.
Did we lose Allison? Let me see my
Yeah,
show.
she said she had to bounce. She had an appointment.
Good. Well, I absolutely love it, and the side by side is, we can also kind of, that can sort of be designed where, you know, where there may be a background, or they may just be taking up the whole screen. One side takes up. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the one that I've got today is pretty boring. I mean, it's just a stock black background. But if you look at like Jenny Q's show or Aprie's, I basically took their color palette. Like Jenny Q's is like the Miami Dolphins a little bit, and Aprie's is a pink and a pink black and orange combo.
Yes, Lord. Now we can pack away the wirecast and broadcasters and let the professionals do what they do.
Right.
You know, I, in all honesty, I thank you for your time. I'm going to send you over my information. I know you have Allison's. I'm going to send you over my information, and I sent your information over to a couple of people that I thought could utilize your services. Glenn Garns.
Oh, perfect. Thanks. Thank you for that. So, Trevor, I just requested you as a friend on Facebook, and we can communicate there until we exchange email addresses.
I'm going to send you. I sent you guys. By the way, I sent you guys a request on your page, so that's me. So you can go.
Awesome.
Oh, I already met with Trevor.
Okay, perfect.
Trevor, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Let me do this Facebook friend request 1 second. And by the way, you can pull in the tweets live, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
So they actually are live right now. I'm not showing that right now, but now I am.
Jenny Q, got it, Jenny. You are officially accepted into friendship.
Nice. Awesome.
So, Fred, do you have any thoughts, questions?
No, nothing in this format. I mean, offline, a couple things as far as services that aren't in the aspect of live. So some pre-recorded webinar stuff that we could do, which I imagine at some point you'll run out of enough hours to do live stuff for people and be open to doing some of that stuff, or probably already do and now going live. So most of my stuff's just kind of offline, specialized to myself and a couple projects that I'm thinking of looking at. I mean, it's pretty clean. I kind of, like I said, I'd seen the work. And I've spent a lot of time on camera and worked with producers and everything else. So I understand what you guys are doing. So it's just, go over some details and see how it fits project wise.
Right. So in being truthful, we actually had never done webinars up until yesterday. And
okay.
Up until yesterday. So a week ago, we've started doing work for SAP. And they had, last week, they had asked, hey, we have a webinar coming up next week. Would you guys be willing to do the webinar to Facebook Live? And we're like, well, we really don't, I don't know if that's a great idea. And at the time, we weren't sure that we had the time to do it. But at the end of the day, they pushed back and they're like, no, we really have, we want to get this done. So net is what we did is they already had an established GoToMeeting webinar. So it would have existed whether we brought it to Facebook or not.
Right.
And it was a usual and customary webinar. So, you start the webinar with a still picture or portrait headshot of the speaker, and then you transition to your PowerPoint deck. So what we did is we slightly supplemented it in the sense that we gave it kind of a background to what Trevor was talking about in terms of branding, the frame around the webinar, and then we put a static headshot of the speaker and some branding, the icon for SAP, and there was another company that they were doing the webinar with. But the point is we basically just took a webinar that they were already going to do and added a little bit of lipstick to it and then pushed it to Facebook Live. And what's interesting is that they got 6 times the engagement in viewership on Facebook Live than they did on their webinar.
Right.
And so that for me was holy crap.
And I wasn't necessarily looking at pushing a webinar to Facebook Live, just webinars for webinar's sake, just to have, do something a little bit different. But it's an interesting idea pushing it there. It'll be interesting to see if if you do an all-out recorded, if there'll be pushback from Facebook at some point going, okay, guys, you know, the intent is it's live. We know you're recording it. That'll be interesting to see where they go with that.
That will be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but that's a great point.
We've pushed quite a bit of pre-recorded content to Facebook over the last few months. We've gotten no pushback. That doesn't say that there won't be any pushback, but we have pushed, easily 100 to 200 videos, pre-recorded videos to Facebook Live.
Well, I think it'll just depend on what the public's knowledge of it is. Look, 90% of the webinars that are being done right now that are live webinars aren't live because the software's got so good.
Yeah.
Questions come in and attendees come in and all this other stuff. So I think if the public still thinks it's live, then there won't be issue. If at any point they feel that the Facebook Live sessions are not truly live, then that'll become problematic.
Right.
And I did have one question, Rob. You had mentioned, has Facebook rolled out the ability to do live from a desktop yet?
Just they haven't. They're rolling it out slowly.
Okay.
But to be clear, when we did the webinar yesterday, it actually was live. So it was scheduled for 1 o'clock.
I got what you're saying on that. Yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah.
So Fred and Trevor, I'm curious to hear your thoughts on or level of excitement of LinkedIn Live coming.
Game over.
Yeah, that's gonna be because I think because their whole population, so to speak, is very different. I think that's gonna have a completely different style audience, but potentially, I think they could have greater engagement. Because Facebook Live is, it's kind of hop in, hop out. It's not designed for you to really stay there, so to speak. And I think with LinkedIn, people tend to be to really want to absorb the content as opposed to let me just peek and see what's happening.
Right.
So I didn't know that was happening. I didn't know LinkedIn was happening. Oh wow, this is the technology these days is getting just amazing.
Well, so I can tell you that
I'll probably go on record of saying if it rolls out the way we think that it will, depending on your niches. So I've owned, we have several different product lines out there that we've done. Some of them are attached to, some of them aren't. Some of them are huge on LinkedIn and just don't get the traction for a variety of reasons on Facebook. Some of them are kind of personal things where that people just aren't going to air things publicly, so you don't have that community aspect. Yet you have big groups on LinkedIn or they've at least signed up to that. I suspect, look, the power of video is huge. All that stuff is. I suspect that the ROI on LinkedIn video is going to be huge. I think that if you're in the right group and you've got the right group, I suspect that I don't want to say game changer because it's limited. It's just another platform and that gets thrown around a lot. But I suspect there are a lot of people that I have not been able to get to LinkedIn to other traditional medias of how we market and sell, that if we can now sell from within LinkedIn in a video format, I think it's going to be pretty big bucks. At least that's my quarterly projections show.
So I can tell you one thing, Fred, that I've been kind of messaging to brands and businesses that kind of have the same opinion about what you just described. They're like, well, there's probably some value to some businesses in Facebook and Twitter, Periscope, and YouTube, but when we do webinars and everything else, they're done on our page. I can tell you that if you're looking if you're setting your expectations and goals towards a video-enabled LinkedIn, then I would suggest that there is value to using between now and the time that LinkedIn offers live video to start doing shows on some of the social media platforms, because you got to learn how to do good shows, right?
Yeah.
And I continue to learn to this day. I know hardly anything about video production. It's all just, it's just constantly waking up every day, learning how to do something new and different. But the point is that for those businesses, in my opinion, that currently leverage Facebook and YouTube to understand how to do a quality interview show or whatever it is, then they're gonna exponentially explode on day one with LinkedIn, because they'll be one of the only businesses or brands on the platform that actually looks good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
because they'll have spent all their time on the practice field, and now day one on LinkedIn, you know, they're treating it like the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, we're seeing so much development in the space now where we all know that what they're doing with video and social media now won't look anything like what it will be 6 months from now or even 1 year from now. So, you know, each of us on here are really kind of, you know, at the beginning of this new technology, and the ways we use it really create the rules for how people will really come to use it in the future. Mm-hmm. You know, it kind of you know what it reminds me of a little bit? I remember during the early days when I first got like my first iPhone, and there was like this, you know, kind of iPhone hacker community, so to speak. And a lot of the unorthodox ways that people were hacking into their iPhones became what were the main or the new apps that iPhone or Apple added on in later production. But it was stuff that people, hobbyists, were really playing around with in the early stages. And, you know, now you don't even see the hobbyists anymore because all of the things that they worked on and things that they did just got integrated into the platform. That's
a great point. That's a great point. Yep.
So, you know, definitely looking forward to working with you. In addition to that, you guys can also facilitate pre-recordings for people, because a lot of times, sometimes we just have our clientele just come in and pre-record their presentation so that we can broadcast it at a particular time, so that they don't have to have the limitation of our time zone. Because a lot of our clients are from the UK, or from Australia, from South Africa, some right on the West Coast, and that it's more beneficial for them to record at a certain time, even though we won't be broadcasting until our main time.
So absolutely we can do that. I mean, one flavor of doing that is taking pre-records and treating them like B-roll. So for example, maybe you did an interview with one of your partners in the UK 8 hours ago because it was a convenient time for them to do the recording. So we can do that session, record it as an interview with you and your partner, and then to one up that, we can then take that piece of video, edit it down, and then regenerate it or repurpose that content on a show that you might broadcast daytime in the US. So, you know, you're the live host, and maybe rather than having a live guest on, you say, okay, I had an interview with Sir Lancelot in the UK earlier today. Let's check it out. And then what I do is I spin the pre-record video.
Okay. Gotcha. Understood. Quick question. Now, you know, Alex, I sent this over the paperwork and things like that. As far as dealing on the contract side, who do we send that to? Jenny, Rob?
Jenny.
Who do we handle that with?
Jenny.
Gotcha.
That would be me.
The blue mic lady.
The blue mic lady. Well, so she's not the blue mic lady. Yeah.
Only for today. It might be orange or pink or black.
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. I might have to do that. Now I wonder who stole my blue Yeti. I got to find out who borrowed it.
All right. Somebody took it, really?
I loaned it to somebody. I just don't know who borrowed it. If you're watching this live stream and you're the person that borrowed my blue Yeti,
Return it.
Put a tracker on that thing, man.
Mine's red, so I didn't. It's not me.
Awesome.
So, you know, definitely thank you for your time. We'll definitely be using you immediately, and we're going to be going, because you're basically taking off a certain amount of labor, considerable amount of labor that we do on our own end. You know, from you can imagine we use the Wirecast on some occasions. We use the TriCaster Mini in other occasions. But you can imagine being the expert, the speaker, the host, the trainer, the facilitator, and all of these moving pieces while simultaneously trying to focus on being the expert. And that's just that's just a headache.
Right.
And many times you end up having to sacrifice being the expert because now you're the producer. Right. So, you know, looking forward to really using you guys, especially for a person like me. I can get back to being an expert.
There you go. That's right. Yeah, that's right. Choose your swim lane.
Nothing else. You know, I didn't sign up to be a to be a video guru. I signed up to be an expert.
Exactly. Well said.
Awesome.
We're just going to take, easy for me to say, we're just going to take clips of you through this whole demo and stream them together and then make a commercial. Is that okay with you, Trevor?
He's like testimonial gold. I mean,
know.
For a guy that's not already a client, I'm like,
I know.
do you have a shill on this? Because I already like their work, but this guy's like just rattling them off.
I know it.
I mean, we've done it. We have done it. We own all the tools, all the equipment, all of the toys, the green screens, the lights. We get it. And I looked at your proposals from a price point perspective. You know, as entrepreneurs, we forget to keep asking the question, what's the highest and best use of our time? We forget that question.
Exactly.
And sometimes we say to ourselves that the ability to do it ourselves is worth more than the amount of time that we're going to use up. And when it comes down to it, when you start realizing the prep time, like when you guys were talking about dealing with the run sheet, dealing with the graphic overlays, dealing with listening, because even when you're doing it just from a hobby perspective, you got to listen to the other person. You can't leave the board because you got to be listening for whose cat is in the background. Or we've had people go to the bathroom live
with their mic.
Oh my gosh, the mic is still on. So
yeah,
you need somebody that's really laser focused on that. That's what they do. That's what they want to do. That's who they are. And if they're really not detail oriented, in the space that I can remember that space, 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, where there probably was not as much revenue being generated through the power of video. But now you figure that easily, in this new kind of expert space, you're talking about somewhere between 40 to 60% of your revenue being dependent on your video. And the quality of that video has everything to do with whether or not people really buy into your brand. I can remember, 20 years ago, if you didn't have an office, a big office with gigantic wooden tables, it wasn't perceived as though you were really in business. Nowadays, if you don't really have a quality online presence, which, is highly predicated on your use of video, it's perceived as though you're some hack in the basement. So it really does improve the quality of your overall brand. And, from a branding perspective, I think video is now one of the leading ways to really control how people perceive your brand, or one of the top branding techniques. And one of the things that we know about branding is branding is how people assess value on the products and services that you offer. And so, I have a PF Chang's down the street, and, I can go there and get me some, some orange chicken, and they will charge me $30. But I can go to the Chinese food restaurant down the street.
That sounds so good.
They don't have the same branding, and I'm going to pay $8.99. I'm not quite sure which one has the better orange chicken, but I feel better about the $30 that I got when I spent at PF Chang's. And I think video is that same way, that it is such a powerful control unit for your brand and your revenue. And it's the easiest way, in my opinion, for experts and professionals to really triple their prices. This is one thing that I charge more.
This is one thing that I found fascinating and I wanted to make sure I touched on this because I'd started to talk about it at the beginning of the show, and then I forgot. But one of the biggest big brands that I know, or big companies that are starting to do this now, is a company called Blue Jeans, and they're a traditional video conference company. And what I scratch my head about is, I have been pestering Zoom to get engaged with this since we've been doing it. And I've even had the CEO of Zoom on Facebook Live share, and he got mass views when we did that interview. But the point is that, Blue Jeans is, like I said, it's like Zoom and WebEx and GoToMeeting and Cisco. It's a video conferencing platform. And they're now leveraging their ability to take video conferencing and bring it to Facebook Live as being like this monumental first to the market video conferencing company. And number one, clearly they're not. But the funny thing is from a pricing standpoint, they're charging 5 times the amount of money that we're charging for a fully produced, manually operated with a producer show. I mean, they literally charge $2,500 for you to take a boring video conference and place it onto Facebook for one per event. And I'm like, but where's the value add? $2,500, and there's no live producer. They're just simply charging you $2,500 for the ability to bolt a video conference onto Facebook.
Well, if you go into a traditional studio, just for the video technician, you're going to run a bill of $500 to $1,000. So the fact that what you guys are doing, in addition to being the producers and managing the technology, you can get a sweet bill. Put it that way. I don't know if you would really think it's sweet, but
Well, so I guess the point that I found that was so funny, and I did a tongue-in-cheek tweet last night to kind of just send the message home, is April had what was the gentleman's name earlier this week?
Jay Barnett.
Jay Barnett. So Jay Barnett had used to played for the Tampa Bay, the Green Bay Packers. So he's an ex-football player, and Blue Jeans had done a broadcast with I guess the players union or players. I forgot what. Do you remember what that?
From the NFL, DeMarco.
No. This is actually baseball. There was a company. I think it's called the Players Union or something. But they had contracted Blue Jeans to do a live broadcast of them doing an interview with Derek Jeter from the Yankees, and so this was live yesterday, and they were promoting it as like, this is great for celebrities and stars because now we can take famous people and bring them to Facebook, and I'm like, really, like that is like it's. I mean, what I love is so I took a screen grab of that Blue Jeans Derek Jeter thing and posted it, and I did a side by side on Twitter with April and Jay, and I'm like, okay, you guys be the judge. Do you want to spend $2,500 to broadcast freaking video conference, with all the little Hollywood square boxes and stuff, or for a fifth of that, do you want to have a live producer? And a team of people that will help build your brand, make you look good, and make it look like a television. It was just, I don't know. For me, I was pretty humored by it.
Well, Rob, I think this, especially if we start to see these social media spaces more like television, and we start, we think of our favorite shows, and we know what time they come on. I know that I'm going to watch. At 9 o'clock in the morning, I know I'm going to watch Mike and Mike on ESPN. I know that on 10 o'clock on Thursday, I'm going to watch Scandal. And I think if people really start to take their video more seriously, I wouldn't contract a company like Enlightened Audiovisual just one time. I would look at what's my 1-year contract. And the reason why I say that is, not looking to treat your customers or clients like a one-night stand, right, but really starting to date your customer through the power of video and starting to create more relationship currency as opposed to the celebrity currency. And where they can start to depend on you to show up, bringing value at a certain time, in a certain place, every week, so that there's some consistency about it. And so, it's not that you just do it at such a very low cost. It is also the fact that now, because you are doing it at such an affordable price point, it's not free, there is an investment, but because you're doing it at such an affordable price point, that brings it down to a point that the everyday person or entrepreneur can really get high quality video production at a fraction of the cost. Now they can really produce an entire 1-year show. Like, hey, every Friday at 3:30, you can count on me to be here providing value. Let's just say if it's my company, we're going to be talking about marketing, automation, and technology. Let's just say it's Allison, and she's talking about personal and professional development. Let's say it's it's April talking about CEO Fuel, is that I wouldn't just look for the one-off. I would look for also, creating, going to Enlightened Audiovisual and doing a one-year contract, and really not just committing to Enlightened Audiovisual, but it's really about committing to your brand. And it's really about committing to your audience. And, you don't have to do a trial run or a test trial on your audience. You don't have to treat your brand as though, let me try out my brand and see if it works. Just start to have some commitment to the value that you really want to bring to the marketplace through your business, through your products, through your brand, and through your service.
Right. Well, and so I think the only thing that I would add to that is yes, we're getting better and better every day with approaching the quality of television. But I think if you treat live streaming like television, I think you're going to fail because people are disconnecting from television. They don't watch anymore. I mean, I watch more live stream video and YouTube videos than I ever do on DirecTV. And I guess the only reason we maintain DirecTV is because of live sports, and that's it. We don't watch the news. We don't. I certainly didn't watch the debates. What's unique about live streaming? What's unique about live streaming that television can't compete with is the live engagement. It's talking to your live audience, having people like not only you and I and Fred talking, but also being able to talk to folks like Allison and Zach Hoffman. And Glenn. So it's like a three-way conversation, and television just can't do that. And that's what's so cool to me about live streaming is that it really gives a voice to people that didn't have a voice. But the other thing that's neat about live streaming is that for those highfalutin politicians and celebrities that think they're all that, and they try to go to Facebook Live, they're going to get hammered and called out. So it'll be interesting to see these supposed celebrities and politicians going to these live stream platforms, because if you're hiding behind the mass media and allowing them to protect you, you're going to get a whole new experience and reality check when you go in front of a live unfiltered audience.
Hashtag ain't that the truth?
Yeah. So, well, I'm so grateful for you guys hopping in today and going through the demo. I mean, I'm glad we did this to the Enlightened page. This was certainly a first for us, but I think this is going to be something that that'll be enjoyable for Jen, Sam, and I on a weekly basis to do. And I'm really, really grateful that that you and Fred hopped in and certainly talked with us about it today.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks so much, Fred and Trevor. I'm glad we connected on Facebook, and I'll reach out to both of you this afternoon and answer any individual questions you have.
Sounds good. Look forward to hearing from you. Awesome. Cool. We just do stuff like this off the cuff. Isn't it great to be an entrepreneur? You just hop on
Amen
Facebook.
to that.
It really is. I was thinking that. I'm like, how cool is this? Like, we were strangers, an hour and a half ago, and now we're all like hanging, chilling, talking. So,
yep, the power
all right, you guys.
of new relationships.
Yes, definitely.
All
right. Look forward to talking to you guys soon.
All right, Jen. So
Bye-bye.
I guess we'll wrap it up, and maybe next week. That was pretty cool the way that it all kind of just came together. I mean, it was just an organic conversation with some new pals and customers, and that was fun.
Yeah, I love it. So if anybody is still watching the replay at this point and you want more information about Enlightened Audiovisual live video production, go to our Facebook page and click the Contact Us button. That'll take you to a form that will get us in contact so that we can best meet your needs. And that's it. See you later.
Cutting the feed.